turnovers?
Yeah, I think so. I thought we got off to a really good start. 16-10, first 8 minutes of the game. Got in some foul trouble, kind of changed the momentum of the game a little bit. But Roz, our assist to turnover leader on the year, he had 5 that game. We only had 8 total. I think if you really look at our numbers, that's been our Achilles heel. The 21 turnovers a game, or I don't know if it's 20 now, but last 5 years I think we've averaged right around 11, and we've got to shore that up. And Texas against a team that defends, really well in the half court, that presses at times, extends their defense, and has good length and activity. Thought it was really good, a big step. 8 turnovers was huge.
What is there a common thread for the turnovers previous to Texas?
Man, I think a lot of it's just decision making. A lot of decision making, maybe fatigue at times, but at the end of the day, decision makings and just too much dribbling. We got to move the ball better with the pass and keep spacing. And when two's on, you move the ball.
What do you see from Texas Tech? I think they're third or fourth last I look in creating turnovers. How much of an emphasis does that have to be?
Yeah, I read a list of about we got practice here in a minute, but we have kind of a walkthrough in the mornings, just kind of review what we want to do to attack them. And you've got about 10 things, playing off 2 feet, different things like that, shot ready, things that Tech makes you have to do. You got to play really well on 2 feet, or else you're going to give up. You're going to get charges. You got to be strong with the ball. You got to meet passes. We got to keep good spacing. You can't run to the ball. And then when you have advantages, you really got to attack and push the pace and attack them from that standpoint. But being shot ready, not letting their pressure speed you up, keeping good spacing, and don't run to the ball. Let the ball find you. Those are all little things, but they've always been good defensively. Since Chris has been there, we've got to. I think we understand how we need to attack them. We just have to be efficient in the way we do it.
Just looking at synergy, and they've got you guys on transition possessions, turning it over at 27% of those.
Yeah.
Are you seeing issues with the fast break and just giving away opportunities that would be otherwise? Those are what you're looking for, those transition.
Yeah, there's no question. I think a lot of that has to do. I think we've been so versatile in the past, to where I think at times so many different people push the ball, and I think obviously we're trying to play like that if we can. But I think if you look at the numbers, assist to turnover numbers and turnover numbers, you can see a lot of those turnovers are coming from a lot of different people, I'll say, not just 1 or 2 people in transition. And so I think we're really trying to get the ball, outlet it to our point guard and really run and get to our spots, so we have less people handling in the full court. And hopefully that'll help us.
Our next question will be from Randy Peterson of the Des Moines Register. Go ahead, Randy.
Steve, good morning or afternoon.
Hey, Randy.
Xavier was limping late, or I don't know, at some point in the second half. What's his status going forward?
Yeah, we talked about that. I guess I addressed that. I don't know if it was a week ago. Obviously we're working through his foot situation right now. Kind of load management right now, trying to do our best to keep him healthy or get him as healthy as he possibly can right now. But obviously we know he had surgery in the past, and still not 100% back from that. And then so we're just being patient and trying to get him back to full speed.
Is there any thoughts of shutting him down and trying to get a medical, or is that the point of no return?
I don't know all the intricacies with whether it's you could do medical red shirt or not. Everybody gets their year back now, so it probably doesn't even matter from this standpoint, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's more just about what's best for Xavier. So right now we're in a load management plan, and we'll just evaluate that weekly and bi-weekly and see where he's at. But as we go forward, whatever's best for him and his future is the number one priority. But we met with him and the training staff and the doctors just to get a load management plan. That's what we're going with right now.
Okay, thanks, Steve. See you tomorrow.
Yep. See you, Randy.
Our next question will be from Matt Bellinson of the Iowa State Daily. Go ahead, Matt.
Steve, when you look at Javen's scoring output the last 2 games. Obviously, I think that's right around where you guys are liking him. You know, you said that he's going to be one of your primary scorers this year. Just kind of what do you think's allowed him to kind of turn on that scoring output the last 2 games you've had?
Yeah, well, number one, he's making shots. I think he's taking better shots, and I think he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable. You know, we got to find him areas. You know, we've started to run some things for him, get him some different actions, trying to get him downhill, to get him more comfortable. You know, get him on the ball, some off the ball based on who's guarding him. But I thought the last 2 games, obviously, he's played really well and made big plays for us. And, you know, his versatility is going to be a big, big key for us tomorrow.
When you look forward, I know obviously you're taking it one game at a time, but I know you've talked a lot about how this conference, you know, is the best in the country, one of the best in the country. When you look back at that Texas game and just going forward, the length of this conference in terms of size-wise of the players you're going to be going against, I mean, do you see that as a challenge that this team is going to have to try and find ways to navigate through? It seems like Texas kind of took control of the glass for a good majority of that game.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the big keys. I thought the rebounding was big against Texas. You know, we wanted to switch at times. We wanted to slide under ball screens at times. I thought our ball pressure, our ball screen defense wasn't as good as it was in the Baylor game for stretches. And that hurt us on the glass with Kai Jones and Jericho Sims. But, you know, that's our league. And so you got to respond and you got to continue to make adjustments and put those guys in position where we're, you know, we're not at a disadvantage, you know, as much. But, you know, Texas, obviously they've got length and they've got size, and that's what makes them good. But our league is terrific, and you know you got to go play the next game, and it's Tech tomorrow, and obviously they're known for their defense and their toughness and physicality and turning people over, and so we got to do a great job making sure we get a shot every time down and not let them score off their defense.
Our next question will be from Michael Swain of 247 Sports. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Coach, you had mentioned, I think, at one point last week that Blake Hinson was back on campus. What all is he allowed to participate in, and I guess just what does it mean to have him back around the rest of the guys?
Number one, he is back. Number two, great to have him back around the guys. I think it's good for us. I think it's good for him. You know, he was barely up here, you know, before he left. So, you know, we're really just, you know, really starting still to get to know him. You know, we haven't spent a ton of time around him, you know, hanging out and different things, and that's a lot to do with the pandemic. But it's great to have him back. Basketball-wise, we're not allowed to do anything with him right now. You know, he can shoot on his own, which he's been doing, and he can do his strength workouts with our strength coach. But basketball and contact stuff, nothing right now. Just individual shooting on his own, and that'll probably be like that for a while.
And when he was back home in Florida over the fall semester, I guess what was maybe your contact or just your staff's contact with him? What was that like?
I mean, it was good. I mean, we just communicated weekly with him and his parents and just make sure he was doing okay, because he was obviously dealing with a lot of different things and a lot of different emotions, and so just trying to be there for him. And that's why I was, you know, an advocate. If he needed to be home right there, you know, with his family, I was a big support of that, to make sure he got in a place where he felt comfortable.
And just pivoting now, what have you maybe seen from Jaden Walker since you guys have been back from Christmas break?
Well, he's out there shooting right now, which is good. I think he's starting to make strides again. I think he came out of the gates early when he got going, and then he kind of hit a little rough patch, and I think he's kind of finding his confidence and getting back. And you know, he's got some length and playmaking ability, so we got to get him out there.